I still remember the first time I heard someone speak English fluently. I was 10 years old, standing behind a dusty curtain in my family's small apartment in a quiet corner of Vietnam. My uncle had just returned from America, and as he spoke with my father, I was mesmerized by the rhythm of his voice, smooth, fast, confident. It sounded like music I didn't understand but desperately wanted to. That was the moment I made a promise to myself. One day, I'll speak English like that too. But promises are easy to make. Keeping them, that's where the real story begins. I didn't have the best environment for learning English. In school, we memorized vocabulary lists and repeated textbook sentences with no emotion. Our English teacher, though kind, had a heavy accent and rarely let us speak. Most of the time, I felt like I was learning English to pass exams, not to communicate. My listening skills were the worst. When I tried to watch English movies, I couldn't catch a single sentence. It felt like trying to hold water in my hands. Everything slipped through, leaving me confused and embarrassed. Still, I kept that promise in the back of my mind. Everything changed when I got my first phone at the age of 15. It wasn't new or fancy, but it connected me to the world, especially YouTube. That's where I found something life-changing: English listening practice videos. The first one I clicked on was slow, clear, and told a story, a simple one about a boy and his dog. I listened once, then again, and again. For the first time, I understood something. Not everything, but enough to feel a spark. That spark became a fire. I created a routine: 30 minutes of listening practice every day. Sometimes I listened on the way to school, sometimes late at night under the blanket. I started shadowing, repeating after the speaker, trying to copy their tone and pronunciation. I didn't care if I sounded silly. I knew every word I repeated brought me one step closer to that 10-year-old's dream. But of course, it wasn't always easy. There were weeks when I felt like I was going nowhere. I'd listen to interviews or podcasts and still miss half the words. I remember one night crying after a frustrating session with a video that was just too fast. Maybe I'm just not good at languages, I whispered to myself. But then something incredible happened. One day, during English class, our teacher played an audio clip of a conversation between two tourists. Everyone else looked confused, but I understood almost everything. My heart pounded. I raised my hand and translated the dialogue. My classmates turned to look at me in shock. My teacher smiled. That moment lit up my soul. It was the first time I felt like all those lonely hours were finally paying off. Encouraged by that small win, I pushed myself further. I joined online forums to talk with English learners from around the world. I started leaving voice messages on language exchange apps, my heart racing every time I hit send. I even began watching entire TV shows in English without subtitles. Sure, I didn't catch every word, but I could follow the story. I was living the language. Then came my biggest challenge: a scholarship interview for a university abroad. The entire thing would be in English. For weeks, I prepared. I practiced mock interviews with my cousin. I listened to English news every morning and watched TED Talks at night. On the day of the interview, I was trembling. The first question came, and I paused, not because I didn't understand, but because I was trying to hold back tears. I remembered that little boy behind the curtain. I remembered the promise. And I spoke. Not perfectly, not without mistakes, but with clarity, with confidence, with heart. 2 months later, I received the email. I got the scholarship. I was going to study in Canada. Now, as I walk through my university campus, talking with friends from every corner of the world, I sometimes pause to reflect. My journey wasn't about grammar rules or perfect pronunciation. It was about patience, about listening, not just to English, but to my own determination. To anyone listening now, doubting yourself, thinking, "I'll never get better at this," please remember, I was once just like you. Lost, frustrated, afraid, but I kept going. And so can you. Because learning English isn't just about a language, it's about discovering who you are, and who you can become when you believe in yourself. Thank you for listening to my story. If you're on your own English journey, never give up. Keep listening. Keep trying. Your moment will come.